Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host, Buckning, and today we're going to talk about where this 2021 stock market crash is, and I'll explain why I'm making this video in a bit here. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is where we put $100 a week into a tax-free savings account to build a dividend portfolio right in front of your eyes. And if you're not new, welcome back. And so we're not going to go through the portfolio today because of something I thought about today and just really wanted to talk about. So it's kind of like a fireside chat sort of thing and so on and so forth. But of course, because it is the beginning of the week video, I'm going to show you the proof that we put in the $100, and we're not going to go through the portfolio. And you're going to see my cluttered desk over here. This is a different desk. It's actually an L-shaped desk, just to give you an idea of what I'm working with. So it's 2021, and I don't know if you guys remember back in, was it like March, April, maybe, the beginning of the year, and everything on YouTube for some odd reason was, or everything you heard or everything you researched led to, oh, there's going to be a market crash in 2021. There is going to be 2021 is going to be the year the market crashes. There's going to be a crash here. There's going to be a crash there, and so on and so forth. And every video seemed to say there was going to be a market crash. So where is it? This is my biggest question today to myself was, where is this market crash of 2021? I mean, we still have, what is it, August? So we're in month 8. We still have 4 months. But I have no idea where this market crash is, and I haven't seen any signs of it. I haven't seen any inclinations of it, any clues about it. And I'm no market reader. I'm not no future teller or anything like that, or fortune teller or anything like that. I'm just a regular guy on YouTube, just making a video about how to build a dividend portfolio right in front of your eyes. But 2020 was like a massive year, and for a lot of people, you had new investors coming in, buying all these hype stocks, if they still call them that. That included, a lot of the tech stuff, Neo, just to name off a few. And don't get me wrong, I did invest in some of these, but not all of them. Like I'm sure a lot of people did, because they were making money or value hand over fist at that time. And so you had, like Palantir, which I did purchase it some, just so you know, just to be clear that I have a little bit of experience in this. Neo, Tesla was a big one. Also, I own Tesla. Zoom, very large one, and so on and so forth. And these hype stocks just kept climbing and climbing, mostly in the tech sector. Another big one was ARK Invest, the innovation one. I think that's RKK or something like that. And the talk of the town was Cathie Wood ETF. And so now, and then after all that, in 2021, the news was there's going to be a market crash. So where's the market crash? If you don't know what the definition of a market crash is, here it is. A stock market crash is a sudden, dramatic decline of stock prices across a major cross section of a stock market, resulting in a significant loss of paper wealth. Crashes are driven by panic selling and underlying economic factors. They often follow speculation economic bubbles. So that is the definition of a stock market crash, which we did experience in 2020 around March. What was the exact date there? That was March 20, during the week of February 24th to 28th of 2020. The stock market dropped and kept on dropping and dropping and dropping. And then another event happened in another sector, which happened on March 9th, after Russia and Saudi Arabia had an oil price war. Okay. And then we had on March 12th, 2020, we announced travel bans from Europe. Well, not us, but the States did, and so on and so forth. So it just kept on going. These things just kept on happening and happening and happening, which resulted in the drop in 2020 during that time period, which we all are very familiar with now. And that's when a lot of people started panicking. There's people panic selling. There's people, just getting out, fear, and so on and so forth. So that was technically a stock market crash. And this year, I haven't seen a stock market crash. All I've seen is a correction. If you bought heavy into the tech stocks, or you just really picked really bad stocks, to be honest, you probably saw a correction. You probably saw a change in stock value and stock price. And I'm also going to give you the definition of that, because I truly believe people need to really understand what the definition of something is before they actually label an event of whether it was a stock market crash or a stock market crash coming. So here is the definition of a market correction. A market correction is a rapid change in the nominal price of a commodity. Okay. A stock market correction refers to a 10% pullback in the value of a stock or a stock index. So what that means is, let's say you bought a stock and all of a sudden it dropped down maybe 10% and it went back or dropped down. That could be the result of a correction, which means investors took their profits. Another underlying factor took place, and it was just a correction, okay? To bring it back to the actual value of what that stock price is worth. Now, don't get me wrong, these happen quite, not often, but they do happen, and it's not a bad thing. It's a healthy thing for the stock market, for the stock itself. And I think people mistake that when they see a couple red days or a red week, that we're heading into a stock market crash. And that is just not the case in most parts, in most times. And the new investor will throw these definitions and throw these things out of no fault of their own, but just not really understanding the definition or understanding what it actually means, because we are bombarded with these videos, with news, and they don't really give you, the real definition. They just say stock market crash, seller selling, exiting markets, moving funds, money leaving stock market. Like, what does that even mean? Like, do we understand what those actually mean and what it means? And do we actually look and do our due diligence? Because we still have to do our due diligence when getting any piece of information. And so that is a correction, okay? And so where is it? I don't think there is going to be one, to be honest with you. I just think a lot of people, including myself, and now I'm not one of those, I'm not trying to be the save all, end all, be all, that I'm the best, because I'm not. I'm just a regular guy building a dividend portfolio. And sure, I bought into those hype stocks, but if you're someone, or someone out there that bought all these hype stocks, I want to know, if there was a stock market crash, would you still keep those? Would you still keep, let's say, Palantir, Neo, Tesla? Would you still keep all the hype stocks? Would you still keep Zoom? And that's the question when it comes to experienced investors is, do they understand the value of the actual company they're investing in? Because there are people out there, and I give credit to those guys who make those videos on these stocks, but they actually believe in the company. When it comes to someone who's just investing for a quick buck or trying to get rich quick tomorrow, which is a total scam in any scenario, it's just not possible. It takes time. It takes patience to kind of build that wealth. But getting back to the point is, if that stock dropped 50%, would you still hold it? If, let's say, Neo dropped 30% or 40%, would you still hold it? If Zoom dropped 30-40%, would you still own it? ARK K, if it dropped that much, would you still own it? Believing in the person that talked about, Kathy Wood, because she was the talk of the town for quite a long time. So where are they now? Why aren't they talking about it now? If your answer is no, that you're not going to keep that, then I think you just made a bad stock pick. Because to be honest with you, if there was a market crash tomorrow, which I don't think there will be, but if there was, you can ask me, would I keep the stocks that I have in the current portfolio that we're building in front of your eyes, or even the stocks I'm holding in my private portfolio? And the answer for you there is 100% yes. The reason I'm going to hold Tesla is because I truly believe in that company. I truly believe they're going to do certain things. And trust me, there are two sides of every investing story. You know, there's guys that are bullish, there are guys that are bearish, there are ladies that are bullish, there are ladies that are bearish. You get the point. If Tesla dropped 50%, would I still hold it? Yeah, 100% I would. If Palantir dropped that much, would I still hold it? Yeah. I'm giving you an insight of some of the stocks that I purchased. And to be honest with you, I trimmed a lot of my private portfolio because I was getting into that habit. I was catching myself investing too much into too many different companies and not sticking to the fundamentals and the principles of investing. You know, and one of the things that is the biggest pet peeve for me is when people quote, you know, really good investors. So let's talk Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Bill Ackerman, you know, Bill Ackman or whatever his name is, you know, and Peter Thiel and all these people, and they quote them, but they're doing the exact opposite. To be honest with you, it's my biggest pet peeve because they are the ones buying the hype stocks, and they throw out these quotes like, we want to see true value, this and that, but they're the first person to jump off the boat when the boat starts sinking, right? And so I'm not going to do Warren Buffett quotes. I'm not going to do any of that. But to give you an example is when the market did crash, did Warren Buffett do anything? No, he didn't. He literally kept most of his positions. I think he sold off a little bit of another company. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with the guy, right? I'm not a person. I'm not going to call him up on my phone and be like, hey, Warren, what are you doing? What are you doing next? You know? The problem is I think too many people are watching these videos where, you know, these companies are maybe paying them to make a video. For example, the very good food company. I know there was a lot of people that were all about that one for sure. And how many people bought into that? And how's that performing for you? You know? And in the next, if it drops 20, 30%, are you going to still be invested? Are you still going to be happy you made that investment? Because if not, then that should give you a reality check on whether or not you should really own it or not. For myself, I know I'm keeping all my positions. And so that is my concern. That's my question to you guys is where is the market crash? If you believe that's going to happen, where is it? Because I don't see it. I don't think the market is going to crash. I think the market is very volatile right now. And I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think is going to happen for the rest of the year, maybe going into 2022. But here it is the market is super reactive right now. And it's reactive based on news. A lot of, you know, the pandemic is coming back. And then there's fear. And then there's, you know, job people are going back to work. Great news. You know, market goes back up. And it's so reactive to every piece of information right now. And for those unexperienced investors, maybe who haven't been invested for over a year, maybe, I guess it's been a year since March, but let's say over 3 years or over 4 years or 5 years, you know, when you hear that news, is it just another piece of news that's kind of just irrelevant? It might do something to a certain stock or do something to a certain index. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the TSX, the S&P 500. Does it affect those? Yes, absolutely it will. Is it going to affect it so much that we should be panicking? Probably not, to be honest with you. But the market is just reactive right now. And I think we're just in that reactive part right now where the market just is doing this up and down, left, right. Well, not left, but just right. And there's just a lot of noise, keeping us away from actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is investing, not gambling, investing. And so that's my question. And I don't really have an answer to the question myself. I was just scrolling through YouTube today and all these videos kept popping up where it's market crash. And these videos are like 3, 4, 5 months old. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, you know, to come to think about it, there was no market crash. There is no market crash currently. I just don't know where it is. And so here is my prediction on what's going to happen for the rest of 2021, maybe going into 2022. And I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, come back and tell me I'm wrong. And I will humbly accept it, and accept my wrong prediction, because no one has a crystal ball. It's always a prediction. Now you can make educated investments on a company if you believe in it and stuff like that, but I just don't think you can predict what exactly the market's going to do. And so I think 2021 is just going to be a flat year. Now, I think the S&P 500 has reached all-time highs and have a lot of other indexes. And I think it's just going to stay that way. I think it's just going to be up and down with the news we're getting, and there's not going to be a catalyst to really change anything, because I think we're already in the new normal. And the new normal is having the news around this whole thing that's going on with the pandemic still, news around vaccines and news around this and that. I'm not going to get into that, but it's just reactive. And so I think it's just going to be a flat year. And what I mean by flat year, so a flat year, to give you a definition, refers to a situation in which a market or security is neither rising nor declining in price or valuation. Now, that doesn't mean it's up 5 cents, and that's not the definition, right? It stays within a consolidated zone of price. Does that make sense? So it could be $5 today, $6 tomorrow, back to 5, down to 4, back up to 6, back to 5, so on and so forth. So if you can imagine, it's just consolidating to the right, trading sideways, as some people know it as. But for those new investors, it is flat. It is just doing its thing. It's just chilling, right? And sometimes it's a good thing, because it lets you get back to reality also, and just figure out, okay, market's kind of flat. You can see where things are settling, and you kind of know which stocks are just not established enough, or companies are established enough, because again, we are investing in companies, and when a market's flat and there's no hype and there's nothing going on, how do they stay afloat? Because most of the time these hype stocks stay afloat by investors' hype. Money keeps getting pumped in there because of inflated belief, and so forth, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. So for 2021, I think it's the rest of the year, it's going to be a flat market. We're going to be trading sideways, and I don't see any big jumps, and I don't see any big falls. I think now it's going to get back to the point where investors really have to do their research into a company and figure out, is this company going to pop? Is this company going to drop? Right? And don't take advice from TikTok. Please don't take advice from TikTok. I've seen some of those, and those things are hilariously funny, but really just strange, in my opinion. And let's get back to the real financials of companies, the real education when it comes to investing, and let's just start getting honest with our investing. And so hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I know it's a bit different of me talking straight 18 minutes or 19 minutes, however long this video is going to be, but I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you in the next one when we purchase our stock for August 2021, and we continue to build this dividend portfolio right in front of your eyes. So have a great week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.